Okay, hello, good evening, and welcome to the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour SemiPro Division. And tonight we are doing the first playoff series. Brendan O'Dowd versus Kyle Heady. Kyle is the fourth seed in the SemiPro South Division, and Brendan is the fifth. And Brendan just started off. He dropped 5 on his first ball and 4 on the second, just missed a spare. Now he's going to try for a 10 box. Waiting for the wood to settle. And he makes the shot. And while the pins are resetting, I will introduce myself. I'm Dan Castle. I was also in the ACST this year, but I'm on the outside looking in. So,
welcome, Dan.
And
Bob Lee here. Dan's going to be doing his first match here, the first playoff match of the 2022 season.
Just off to the 2-pin.
Dan, you might want to remind the viewers of the format for tonight's match.
Right.
It's a playoff, so there won't be the usual 14 points. It's going to be total pins, right?
Yep, tonight's total pins, and each bowler will come up and bowl 5 strings on a side, and then the other bowler will come up. Kyle is the home bowler, so he goes second. And then after the first 5 boxes, they will switch over to the right side, and we'll do this for 5 games. And total pinfall wins. So while every game is important, we're not doing the typical 2 points per string that we do during the regular season. It's purely whoever has the most pins at the end of 5 boxes. Brendan now has 19. He has a 9 box in his last box. He's looking for that first spare. Nice ball right in the pocket. He's left with the 5, 9, and 10 pins. It's a tough spare to make. He's got an interesting piece of wood there. For me, I'd be thinking to be just to the left of that and hope the wood deflects the ball over, or comes off the wall, but we'll see. It's going to be a tough shot. And he makes it. Amazing shot. Nice spare. Bob could probably tell us the odds on that one, but I know it's not very big odds. That was a great shot. On the fill, back on a 2-pin, he gets 7. He's left with the 1, 3, and 7 pin. Another split. It's makeable. You've got to be on either side of the head pin, either deflect the ball over or deflect the pin over, one of the two. He's on the head, just off the head pin, just off the head pin. Left, leaving him with the 1 and 7 pin. And again, you either want to cut the pin over or deflect the ball over. It's really your only choices. And he cuts the pin over for a beautiful 10 box. He's at 46 after 4 boxes. Brendan is 33 years old. He lives in Worcester, Mass. And this is his second year in the ACST. And beautiful ball in the pocket. Probably thinks it should have been a strike, but he ends up with the 6 and 9 pin with a nice piece of wood, very makeable spare. Right in there, no, never a doubt. So Brendan sits down with 56 and a ball in the first half. Very good first half. And now we get to see Kyle. Kyle lives here in Millis. We're here at Ryan's Family Amusements in Millis. And this is Kyle's first year in the ACST. Kyle's 37 years old and had a great run this year. Starts off with a 6 drop. He's left with a 1, 3, 6, and 8 pin. And makes a valiant effort at that one and leaves the 9 pin. picks up the single pin. So in the ACST SemiPro division, we have the North Conference and the South Conference. These two bowlers are both in the South Conference. Kyle was in Division 4 with me, and Dave Edison and Daryl Goodwin. And we faced each other twice. I won the first match, he won the second match, so we split. And but after a little bit of a slow start, he just went to take the lead in our division and come in first, and is the 4th seed overall for the playoff match. Oh, picks off the middle pin on a triangle. I hate it when that happens. And so he's left with 18 after 2. Good first ball. Nice ball, left a triangle of a 6, 9, and 10. He's hoping he doesn't take out the middle like the last time. And maybe I jinxed him because that's exactly what happened. And wide to the left, he's left with an 8 box for 26 after 3. Off on the 2 pin, he's left with the 4 horseman right and the 7 pin. He's hoping probably to cut the 1 pin over, so he wants to be in that pocket. And he was, but just a little bit full in the head pin. He takes everything but the 7. 10 pin went after a little bit of a lag. And for the 10, nice pickup. 36 after 4. It's down 10 pins to Brendan at the moment. Right in the pocket, left with a disappointing 7-10 split. The wood might work here. So if he can hit the front piece of wood right in the middle, that might do it. Too far to the left. Now he's hoping for a 9. And he almost picks up the 10, but leaves with a 9, and after 5, Kyle is at 45. Brendan again is at 56 plus a ball, and now we start up on lane 20. Okay, nice ball on the head pin. Left with a interesting leave of 5, 7, 8. Tough shot. Maybe the wood will help. He's on the wood, and just the 7. So 5 and 8 left for the 10. He did a 6, 7 to fill on the spare, so he ended up with a 63 half. Very good half. And a 10 box, so 73 after 6. Oh, a little bit off to the left, and he picks up a single pin. Bob likes to call it the lemon drop. So now he wants to come in and throw what would look like a strike ball. on the head pin nicely. Left with the 2, 7, and 9. There's some wood there that could work for him. And off to the left again. So he ends up with an 8 box for 81 after 7. So tough box, needs to straighten it out a little bit. I think Brendan felt that he was sticking a little bit, so he wanted to do a little shoe adjustment. And he's going to test his slide again. Sometimes when it gets a little sticky up there, it can cause you to twist a little bit and throw off to one side or the other. So for those of us who bowl regularly, it's very important to test your slide and be aware that lane conditions change. And if it's too slippery or too sticky, it can mess with you pretty badly. So back to the action. On the first ball, he drops 7, leaves the 4, 7, 8. A piece of wood there. And he picks up the spare. So that gives Brendan 3 spares so far after 8 boxes. So he's at 91 and a ball at 8. And another head pin hit, and like we see frequently, a nice little split. So he gets 5 in the fill, so he's at 96 after 8. And he has 3 and 2. Makeable but tough. And he gets 2 on the 3 side. And most likely he's going to want to settle for a 9 here. And he does. So he's at 105 after 9 boxes. So a solid start to this match for Brendan. Let's see what he can do in the 10th to close it out. Nice ball. Little to the right. He's left with a 4 horsemen left. The 1, 2, 4, and 7. Oh, misses to the right. I'm sure he'd love to have that ball back again. And a better second ball, and he takes a 9 for a 114 first string for Brendan. Now Kyle comes up for his second half. He's got some work to do. Needs a couple of marks to catch up. I would say at least 2 marks.
3.
3 would do it for sure. Yeah. Good ball. Just off the head pin. He's left with the Cleary. 1, 3, 6, and 10. And the 8 pin over in the back. He's heading in the right direction. The ball broke a little bit to the right. He's left the head pin alone. And right on it. No, never in doubt. So Kyle is now at 55 after 6 to Brendan's 73 at the 6th box. And he needs 59 pins to catch up in 4 boxes. Nice ball in the pocket. Disappointing leave, but the wood may be a factor here. We'll see. He's on it, and it worked. Spare for Kyle's first mark of the match. Now he's hoping for a very big fill. off onto the 3-pin. He took out 4, so it leaves him 69 after 7 to Brendan's 81 after 7. So he's hoping to pick up this mark too. He's in there, and just off on the head pin, took out 3 of them. So the question is whether he goes for 3 or just takes a 2 and sits with a 9 on this one. And he's going for it, and he gets it for a beautiful 10 bucks. It's a gutsy move to do that. Most people will tell you to take the easy 2 and forget that, but when you need every pin, sometimes you just have to go for it. And in the pocket, light to the right, he's left with a diamond. 6 drop, makeable spare, but the diamond sometimes messes with you. And almost stole it. His balls break into the right, and 1 pin came back, but he was left with the 6 pin alone. And a 10 box, so he's at 89 after 9. I think he'd like to close out with a nice mark on this one. He would need a double strike to catch Brendan at this point. Oh, and he was going for that, and put it in the right-hand pocket, and 4, 5, 7, 8. Really tough spare to make. There's some wood on the right. It doesn't look like it's angled quite right, but he's thinking it's worth a shot, and it didn't work. So it's got 2 more to go. The 6, 7, or the 4, 7, I'm sorry. And he picks up the 7 pin for a 98. So after 1 string, Brendan O'Dowd is ahead 114 to Kyle Heady's 98. Remember again, this format is total pinfall for 5 strings. So in the normal season, we would have awarded Brendan 2 points for that string, but there's no points here. It's purely total. And so Kyle currently is 16 pins down. Brendan comes up his first ball of the 2nd string, punches out, takes 3, half Worcester plus 1. Both these bowlers have a really similar style to each other. Brendan throws at about 26, 27 miles an hour. Kyle throws at about 28, 29 miles an hour. And remarkably similar in their style and their approach. And through the hole, we're a 7 box. Nice ball, right in the pocket, a little full. He's left with the triangle left. The 4, 7, 8. Makeable spare. And he makes a spare. Nice and clean. And again in the pocket on the right. He gave us a 6 fill, so he's at 23 after 2. And he has 2, 4, 5, 7 for the check mark. And great effort on that one, but it just didn't go. Some always call it a check mark. Bob likes to call it the lambda. Nice 10 for 33 after 3. So 3 pins over a 100 pace currently, with 3 over par. And again in that right-hand pocket, and he's left with that same triangle plus the 10 pin this time. So tough spare to make. Conceivably, if you hit that triangle just right, you can kick a pin over to the 10 pin, either off the wall or slide it over. It's a tough shot. I've seen it made, but not often. And he's off to the right on the triangle, takes out the 8 pin alone. So he's left with the 2 and 1. Most bowlers on this will just go for the 2, and if you get the extra, great, but you don't count on it. And it's what he's doing, and just took out the 7 for an 8 box, 41 after 4. And again on the head pin, and again a split. Late fall on the 6 pin, so he is left with a 3-7 split. And he's got one piece of wood on the right there that makes a tough shot even tougher. You cap that, it's probably going to deflect the ball, so not a lot you can do here. That was the shot, and he made it. He made an amazing shot. Spared the 3-7. Deflected the ball from the pin over to the 7 pin. It's a great shot. Really tough to make that. So as Brendan sets and Kyle set comes up, Brendan is at 51 plus a ball with 2 spares in the first half. Kyle puts it right on the head pin, a tad full. Ends up with 2 on the left, 3 on the right. The only way to make this is to get some wall action going here. So most of us will just take one side at a time. And a nice 10 box. That's how you play that. Take the one side at a time, take the 10, go on to the next. So he's at 10 after 1. On the head pin, it's a little bit full, and that leaves him with the 2, 4, and 10. You either have to cut the 2 pin over or deflect the ball over. One of the 2. He's going to try to deflect the ball, didn't go, leaves him with a 10. Nice clean hit on the 10 pin for 20 after 2 to Brendan's 23 after 2. Came in again full on the head pin. It's all over the head pin. Just a little bit full, and it's leaving him this time no split. The 7 pin fell late. But he's left with a 3, 6, 10. Oh, a little full on the 3 pin. It's very frustrating when that happens because you feel like you can make that and then it just comes off a tad full and you end up with, in his case, a 10 box. So he's 30 after 3. Got a 10 box each of the first 3 boxes. So every pin has been knocked down. On the head pin again. A little bit light and leaves him a little mini rack. So this is the 3, or the 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and he takes them all down. But 1, great effort to try to get that spare. Just didn't go. And again, he picks up the 10 box, so he's at 40 after 4. And he's crept closer to Brendan in this match, or in this string. So Brendan's at 41, Kyle's at 40. So 1 pin difference between the two of them in this string. Off to the right. It's on the 2 pin. It leaves the 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10. On the head pin, the ball punch pushes through. It's left for 3 more to go, so it's at 7 so far. And gets an 8 box, so his string of 10 boxes comes to an end. He's 48 after 5. Brendan comes up. Brendan is 51 plus a ball. He's working on a spare. Quiet today at Ryan's. A lot of times on the holiday weekends it's very busy here, but it's been a beautiful day outside, and it's the last day of the Memorial Day weekend, so the house is empty at the moment, so it's a great time to come down and practice your bowling if you'd like to. Nice ball in the pocket, gets a 7 fill, so it puts Brendan at 58 after 5, so he has a 10 pin lead in this string. And try to pick up the split here. Went to the right of the object pin, so now he's going to try to pick up at least 2 of these. And he picks up 1, so he leaves with an 8 box, 66 after 6. Comes in on a 2 pin, off to the head pin a little bit, and leaves him 6. Took out 4. This is makeable. Oftentimes on this leave, 1 pin might stay up, but it's makeable if you can get in a 1-3 pocket. And he's right in there, and as I probably jinxed him again, he left 1 pin. Looks like the 5 pin. And he's on it for a 10 box for 76 after 7. Like I said before, both of these bowlers have very similar style. They're both very serious. They concentrate very well, and both of them are very precise in their approach and their release. And I find them a joy to watch and tough to compete against. So on that ball, he's off to the left. He hits the 2 pin and takes out 6 for a little mini lambda. Makeable if you hit it in the pocket. And he is on the head pin just a little full and takes out everything but the 9 pin. I believe that's the 9. That might be the 6. 5 pins above 100 pace. On the 3 pin, leaves 2 and 2, 1, 2, 6 and 10. Again, this is one of those spares where you either try to deflect the ball off the 1 to the right, or you try to deflect the 1 pin over to the right. And he's coming in a little to the left of the head pin. Just picks up the 2, leaving the 1, 6, and 10. testing to see if he goes for all three or just picks up the two. And a little trouble with the approach, and picks up just didn't pick up anything on that one. So he's got a 7-box 92 after 9. Sometimes when you stick a little bit, or like I said before, it can mess up your approach. Back on the 2-pin. So he's last few boxes had a little trouble getting on the head pin. So if he can come in on the head on this one, he may have a chance at the spare. Nope, off to the right. And picks up 2 more, so he has 3 left to make a 10. On the head pin very nicely, but it punches through, and he finishes with an 8-box for an even 100 score. So his last 2 boxes were a little tough for him. So after 2, Brendan has 214 total. Kyle currently has a 48 half, trying to pick up some pins here to catch up. Right in a right-hand pocket. The ball was breaking left to right a little bit, so did not get a strike. He's left with the 5-7, which is a really tough spare. And just to brag, I had a match yesterday and I made that spare clean, and nobody saw it. And Kyle just did the same thing. So 5-7 without using the wood, beautiful shot. Really tough to make. Great spare to start. Now he's hoping for a big fill. Gives him 58 and a ball. He's in the pocket again, a little full on the head pin. Gives him a 7 fill. We got a straggler there. And he's got an interesting split, which potentially could be made. He's got the 2-7-10. So you want to hit the 2-pin just a little bit to the left side of it. He hit it to the right side. Didn't take out anything else. Now he's got the 7-10 piece of wood that doesn't look very favorable. And the wood deflects everything, leaves the 7-10 alone. So after 7, Kyle's at 73. Brendan at this point is at 76. So there's a 3-pin difference between the two of them in this string. Nice ball in the left-hand pocket. It's probably where he wants to be, the way that his ball breaks left to right. And he is left with a 5-10, but he's got some nice wood there that might make this a little easier to make than trying to do it clean. Oh, misses everything. If he could just touch that wood, that would be makeable. But just going to try to close out with a 10 on this. And he hits the 5, the 10 doesn't want to fall, so takes a 9-box 82 after 8. Down 3 pins on this string versus Brendan. The right-hand pocket, nice ball, leaves everything, takes everything but the 4-7. Wood's angled a little weird there, but it still probably will go. And it does. Nice spare. 92 and a ball after 9. So right now he is tied with Brendan for this string, and the fill will put him ahead. Oh, what a break. He fell forward. And we've got a strike here. First strike of the match. 10 fill. And that's the time to do it, is when you're on a spare. So after 9, he's at 102. He's at 112 plus a ball. And he's coming in again in the pocket and picks up 7 for the first part of the fill. scoreboard says 6, but I see 7. There might be one behind there. And there was. So he gets a 7 fill total. So it was 6 in the first ball, not 7. 7 total. 119 to Kyle's, or to Brendan's 100. So in total right now, Kyle has taken a lead 217 to 214. Very close match after 2. It's a 3-pin difference is all. And again, this is total score, not points. So it doesn't matter who wins each string, it just matters who's ahead at the end of 5. So we have a match here. And Brendan starts off the 3rd string with a drop of 5 pins. Going for the spare. Oh, he's on the object pin, but it left the 6 and 10 pin. So now he's going to go for the 10. And wide to the left, starts with an 8 box. I was anticipating a close match between these two guys because numbers are quite similar all the way through. And this match could easily go either way. Now after we end this match, this is the first of the playoff runs, the winner will advance to the next round of the playoffs. The loser will join those of us who are done for the summer. And Brendan ends up with a spare on that 5. That 5 drop, he picks up the 5-pin spare. So he's at 18 plus a ball after 2. And Paul Grant reminds us that if there is a tie after the 5 strings, we will have a 1-string roll-off. So let's see what happens. So 7 in the fill. So after 2 boxes, Brendan is at 25. And nicely cuts over the pin for another spare, 2 in a row. Beautiful shot. So 35 plus a ball at 2. And for the fill. Nice ball. Drops. It doesn't get any better than that. So 2nd strike of the match. Brendan's 1st strike. And a 10 fill on the spare. 3 marks in a row. He's a 45 after 3. 55 plus 2 balls out of the 4th box. 3 marks out of 4 in this box, in this string so far. Five in the first ball. There's a 4 horsemen left plus a 10. And he picks up a spare again, so that puts him at 75 plus a ball after 5. He's got a great string going here. Kyle's got a lot of work to do to catch up with that. So Brendan had 4 marks out of 5 boxes. He's got to be happy about that. Kyle comes in on a 3-pin, takes out 4. Off to the right, almost steals it. Takes everything but the head pin. And off to the left. I'm familiar with doing that, leaving the head pin all alone. As I say, when I do that, me and the head pin are two strangers passing in the night. Just can't touch. This time he's going to try to be on the head pin under first ball. And off to the right, picks up an extra pin. So a 4 drop to start. So the question is, what's the score so far? I don't have the ability to type that in at the moment, but currently Brendan is at 75 plus a ball in his string, and Kyle just did a 10 box, so he has 19 after 2 boxes. The total, Brendan currently has 279, and with only 2 boxes into the third game, Kyle has 236. Kyle's in the pocket, drops 7, leaves the 6, 8, and 10. Triangle. And I'll read the scores again when we get to the end. He's off to the left on the triangle, leaves the 2. Off in the channel for an 8 box. So after 3, Kyle is at 27, and he's up against Brendan, who's at a 45 after 3. Kyle's in the pocket, drops 7. This time he's got the triangle on the other side. So we have the 4, 7, 8 pin. Only way to make this is to hit that first pin and not punch through. Off to the right a little bit, leaves the 4 and the 7. And picks up the 10, so that puts him at 37 after 4. And for everybody out there, we have put together the score sheets. So real quick, here's the first string was 114 to 98, 119 to 100 for a total so far 217 to 214. So in the match, there's a 3-pin differential after 2 strings. Kyle's trying to sweep the wood over to take out the 3 pins. He has the 5, 6, and 10. And he picks up all 3. So Kyle ends up with a 47. Brendan has a commanding lead in this string. He's a 75 plus a ball to Kyle's 47. See if Brendan can keep it going. He's got a great string going. And Corey, you're absolutely right. The lead has switched, at least at the midpoint of the match right now. So in the fill, in this next box, on the head pin, but a little too much head pin, so he takes on only the 1-5. So he's got 4 on each side. Spread eagle plus a couple extra in the back. And I am not ashamed to say that I hate that leave. I hate when that happens. Picks up 3 more on the right. And he just wants to close out with a good box. And he ends up with an 8 box. So after the half, he was at 77. He's now at 85 after 6. Tough box, but still a great string going. On the head pin again, little full again, not as bad as last time, but we end up with 3 and 2. So one side at a time typically is what we do on these. Goes for the 3 first. Tries to get some wall action, but takes out 2. He's left with the 1, 3, and 7, sorry. And another 8 bucks. So 93 after 7. This time trying to avoid being too full on the head pin, he goes a little wide to the left, takes out 7, and he is left with the 1, 3, and behind it looks like the 8 pin or the 9 pin. Oh, nice effort there. The 9 pin did not go. And it closes out with a 10, so 103 after 8 boxes. Again, full on the head pin, left for the spread eagle. If I recall correctly, Bob said once there was about a 4% chance of making this spare. It's very rarely done. So most of us was one side at a time. Try to get a 10. And he clipped one of the wings. Took out the 3 pin. So for 3 and 2. And he ends up with an 8 box for a 111 after 9. So Brendan's pinning quite well, considering that he's been getting punch outs a lot, and would like to close out with a mark. So that time in the left-hand pocket. 3, 5, and 10. Nice piece of wood in between the 3 and the 5 pin. That could potentially make this a makeable spare for him. And difficulty with his approach. Not happy about that. And went wide left. Missed everything. Now he just wants a 10 bucks. And ends up with a 9 for a 120 string. And total for Brendan and 3 strings is 334. So Kyle is at 47 at the half. He's got 264 so far. So he needs another 70 pins to catch up in his half. He needs a big half to catch up. So he was ahead by 3 pins after this second string, but now Brennan had a great first half especially, and a decent string, and Kyle's got some work to do. Dropped 9 on his first ball. Wants to try to get in there and not have that wood deflect it, and picks up the mark. That's what he needs to do. So 57 in a ball after 6, I'm sorry. On the head pin again, leaves a check mark right. 6 for the fill, gives him 63 after 6. pins just left of the object pin. Picks up one, three remaining for the 10 bucks. And he picks up a 9 box, so that gives him 72 after 7. 21 pin deficit in the strength at this point. He broke off to the right a little bit, got a break, took out everything but the 1 and the 2, and he's got some interesting wood behind there that can be a little bit of a guide. So just needs to be on the head pin to make the spare. And there he is. Nicely done. Spare in the 8 gives him 82 plus a ball. Keeps marking, he's be chipping away at the lead. And off to the right again, 4 horsemen left. So with a 6 fill, that gives him 88 after 8. And he misses a spare, picks up the 10, so 98 after 9. Definitely a better second half than first half. And a spare here could make this very interesting. And Kyle needs to reset. We had a pin fall. And Corey comments that Kyle's not going quietly in this game, and I'd agree. Both these bowlers are very scrappy. And they will fight back to the very end. Neither one gives up, ever. And he's right in the pocket. Leaves the 6 and 10 makeable spare. And goes wide. I'm sure he's disappointed in that leave. That would have been, or in that ball, that would have been a really big spare, but let's see if we can close out with a 10 box and it'd still be relatively close. And he gets the 10, so after this string, Kyle's at 108 to Brendan's 120, so it's 334 to 325 at this point. So Brendan has a 9-pin lead in total so far at this point, so it's still anybody's match. And I'll put up the scores here if I can, so you can read it. Here's the first 3 strings, and Brendan's in the lead by 9 pins, 334 to 325. And on his first ball, he drops 8. Close together to make a potential spare here. Thank you, Terry. Dan Finn did the first couple of scores and I did the last ones, so I appreciate your comment about the handwriting. I think mine's cleaner than Dan's. So Brendan gets a spare in the first, picks up the 2. On a fill, gets 6. Avoided the Caleri, gets a 4 horseman to the right. Or as Paul likes to call it, a Kamrowski special for my friend Rick Kamrowski. And on the headband, but it just doesn't go, so left 2 more to shoot at. Clips off the 10 pin for a 9 box, 25 after 2 boxes for Brendan. the left, and this time he does get the clear. 1, 3, 6, 10, and 8. Looks beautiful when it goes. Head pin just a little light. Took it off the wall, took out a couple. It goes to 10. It's not going to take out the 8. So you got the 4 horsemen part of it. And he picks up the 10 for 35 after 3 boxes. In the pocket again, this is my least favorite leave. I'm still petitioning for people to name this leave after me and call it the Castle. You only get this when you throw a good ball. And you put it in a pocket and then you end up with a leave like this. It's really tough. And there's usually a piece of wood. Occasionally it's in the right spot. And Brendan puts it right through the hole. As you can tell, I really dislike this leave. It's the 6, 5, or I'm sorry, the 4, 5, and 7. And through the hole again, so he ends up with a 7 box and a 42 after 4. He would like to definitely mark out in the 5th. On the 3 pin. Got some late action, so he ends up with a 6 drop. One, 2, 5, 9. Oh, nice try. Left the 9 pin. So right now he's hoping for a 10. Oh, and it wood deflects the ball. Very aggravating. 51 after 5, and Kyle comes up now. Bob just joined me here. Bob Lee is here.
It's a great match. It's within, both bowlers are above their ACT average, right around their ACT average. But Brendan's got about a 10-pin lead, is that right?
9 pins.
9 pins. Don't come into this one. You just threw 51.
After 3, it's 334 to 325. It's anybody's match at this point. And Kyle's off to the left a little bit on his first ball.
About a 2 spare difference, maybe.
Yeah, that's about it. Whoever gets hot. And some late action. He's left with the 1 and the 9 pin to make the 10. He's up against a spare in the first. And he gets a 9 box. So at this point, it's 16 Brendan, 9 for Kyle after the first box in the match. Or in the string, I'm sorry. Kyle wants to get back on the head pin. And, he adjusted, but went off to the right this time.
Oh, that's all right.
And that's okay. He's got a 3 in a row. 4 horsemen minus 1, very makeable. Ideally, put it in that 1-2 pocket. And that's what he did, and he picks up the spare. Beautiful shot, so it gives him 19 plus a ball after 2. Yeah, Bob, you probably missed it before, but I was talking about how both of these guys have very similar style, and they're both very precise and clean in their bowling style. You see very few errors. So 8 in the fill, 27 after 2, and a tough leave here. Tough leave. Are you going to take it off the wall, or are you going to take the pin over, Bob? What would you do?
I would. There's a. There's a reasonable chance he'll get some sort of, because you have that second piece in the wood on the right side that might
So he went
help the deflection.
went wide left on it. So now I probably just wants to get 9 out of this, but he takes an 8. So we don't get to see that made.
Right there, both at 35 after 3 here in the third string. Total pins is all that matters, though, right?
That's right,
So
and it's only a 9-pin difference. So if Kyle can get ahead by 9, then we're tied up again.
Both these bowlers are in their just starting their careers. They're 30s. Kyle really came on this year, brought his average up about 5 pins by taking advantage of the passport. Came in and bowled just about every day during the early part of the spring.
I sure saw in our ACST South Division 4 when Kyle and I were both, and he was my first match. We were each other's first match this year, and I took 10-4 against him. And then after that, he just went on a streak of winning. And he once he figured it out,
well up around 107, I think, during the fall and spring leagues. But and Brendan O'Dowd's only been bowling for 4 years, bowling Candlepin anyway for 4 years. He joined 6 leagues a couple of years ago, and brought himself from the advanced beginner stage to one of the top bowlers in the semi-pros this year.
And he's had to change houses too because Brendan was bowling out of Worcester, which closed down.
Right.
Yeah. And last season when we had a match there, it was kind of comical because I fell into the camera because I tend to walk backwards sometimes, and I forgot there's a lift there in Worcester, and I walked back into the camera, knocked the camera over during the middle of our match. I don't think anybody was watching, thank heaven.
Right. So Kyle hit his head pin the last 4 times there. He had a spare in the second, then 3 straight splits. And he finished with a 51. Both bowlers at 51. It's 9 pins overall.
We're knotted up in this string, 51-51.
I'll leave it back to you. This is
Thanks,
really
Bob.
exciting.
It's a great match here. So we're still 9 pins in the total between them, with the advantage to Brendan. Brendan is on the head pin. Drops 8. Going for the spare, and just takes off the 1 pin. And 9 for the box, so 60 after 6. Okay, nice ball. Took off on a head pin, took off 6, left with a check mark on the left side. Makeable if you hit the object pin. He's definitely on the object pin, a tiny bit full. There's not a lot of margin for error there. Takes 2. Going for the 10 box. And off to the left, picks up a 9, 69 after 7. Slowed down a little bit. He's pinning well, though. So he's just 1 under par. Marker 2, and he's got a good string still. All right, drop 6, leaves a 4 horseman on the right. 1, 3, 6, 10. trouble on the approach. I think he's sticking a little bit, perhaps, and causes him to throw his ball to the left that time, losing a little accuracy. Now he wants to clean him up for a 10. And ends up with an 8. Came into the middle of those two. So after 8, Brendan has a 77. And I try to fix the stickiness on the shoe a little bit and then come back up for the final 2 boxes. Right in the pocket, drops 9. Almost a strike. The wood's a little challenging. He's got to look at that. From my angle, I think you have to cap that front piece of wood. I think if you hit the wood with it on the line or on the side anywhere, it's going to just deflect the ball. So I think it's a cap. This is a tough shot. And he's going for it, and he takes it with the backwood. Nicely done. That was a cleaner shot than the cap. So 87 in a ball after 9. Off to the left. Got some nice action on that one for a 5 fill. So that gives him 92, right? Yep, 92 after 9. And a tough leave to make the spare here. A little bit off to the left. Just 2 pins left. So he's got the 100. And picks up both of them. So that was tough. That was a 2 and a 3 with a funky piece of wood in front. So Brendan O'Dowd ends up with a 102 for the 4th string. And a total of 436 after 4. Now again, Kyle comes into this string down 9. Still down 9 at the half. So for him to catch up, he needs a 111. So that means he needs a 60 half. However he puts that together. Off to the right, left with a 1, 2, 7, 10. Yeah, Justin Scully mentions the humidity being a factor of the stickiness. Absolutely right on that. The AC's on in here. It's very comfortable. It doesn't seem to be very humid, but there's no doubt that this time of year there's a lot more stickiness. Okay, Kyle misses a spare. He's going for the 710, whatever he can pick up on this. 2 if he's lucky. He gets 1 and almost helicopters into the second one, but he takes the 10 pin only for a 9 box. And that gives him 60 after 6. String is tied up. Off to the right, 4 horsemen left. 1, 2, 4, 7. On the 2 pin, so he drops 3 of the 4, leaves the head pin alone. And he picks it up, takes a 1 pin lead in a string. So after 7, Kyle is at 70, and Brendan is at 69. Off onto the 3 pin, 4 horsemen plus the 10. to the left a little bit, onto the 2-pin, leaves a 110 alone. Picks up the head pin, deflects the ball over toward the 10, but not quite enough, so he gets a 9-box, 79 after 8. He has a 2-pin lead over Brendan, who's at 77 after 8. But in the 9th box, Brendan had a spare, so to keep that lead, Kyle needs his mark 2. Nice ball into the pocket, he drops 9. Not going to make 10, he got a good break there. Looks like favorable wood. It's angled pretty sharply, but I think that if he hits that should go. And he didn't hit it, but it still went. Went on the left side. Beautifully done. So matching marks in the 9th. 89 in the ball for Kyle. This is a chance for him to recover the lead or come close. And coming in, beautiful ball. 8 drop. So at this point, Kyle has a 5-pin lead in the string, and he's left with a 5-7. And it doesn't go for him this time. He got it before clean, but not this time. And he picks up the 10 for a 107. So now it gets really interesting because we have a close match here. In total, Brendan O'Dowd has a 436 and Kyle Heady has a 432. So Brendan has a 4-pin lead in total after 4 strings, which means, as you can see my scores here, more than likely the winner of this string is going to take the match. As long as it's, if Kyle were to win, he needs to win by 5 pins. And again, if we end up in a tie after 5, then we have a 1-string roll-off. And we throw out the other 5 strings and we just bowl out 1 string, winner takes all. So first box, Brendan drops 8, left with a 7-10 split, wood in the middle, maybe. Nice bid on that. That was good. Just stayed in the air, didn't go into the gutter, so he picks up the 7-pin. And trying to go for the 10-pin, goes wide to the left. A little bit of that stickiness got him again. He went to the left, took out 4. He's got the 4 horsemen right, plus the 2-pin and a 5-pin. Oh, nice bid. Right on the head pin, a tiny bit full, and he's left with the right-hand version of my least favorite leave, the 5, 6, 10. And he makes a valiant effort at it, takes a 9 for 18 after 2. Just off to the right, takes 7, leaves a line of 3, very makeable. Nothing fancy to do on this one, just put it between the 1 and the 2. goes wide to the left. Just took out the 4 pin. He's got the 1 and the 2. And picks off the head pin for another 9 box. So 3 9s, 27 after 3. Ball broke to the right a little bit. Took off 4 pins on that one. He's got a big cluster of 6 left. I mean, well hit, but it just left the back 2. Couldn't hit it any better than that. That's how you come in on that. Now he just wants to clean him up for a 10. And wide to the left again. So an 8 box, 35 after 4. Nice hit in the pocket. Is a 7 going to go? 7 goes. And he's left with a triangle of the 3, 5, 6. Big shot here for him. He wants to set on a mark. And just wide to the left again. So he's got 2 to make for, or to hit for a 10. Picks up the 10. Nice pinning. So 45 after 5. Averaging 9 pins per box. But the door is open for Kyle. If he can mark a couple of times, he can regain the lead. Really only needs to mark once.
Yeah. He gets 49, the match is tied.
Doesn't even need to mark. Just needs to pin a lot of 10 boxes would be great. But for insurance, he's probably going to want to mark. Okay, and off to the left for 4 on a drop. It's got a cluster of 6, the right-handed version of what we just saw Brendan do. And he's off the head pin. 1, 5, 8, 9. That's a tough leave. I'd say just hit the stripey pin and see what happens.
Spread eagle.
And he,
see, you get it.
Yep. And he hit it, but it deflected off. He gets a 7 box to start. I'm not even bowling it. I get aggravated when I see that.
That's a
Nice ball, nice ball.
there it is.
What a break, what a break. He gets a 9 drop, makeable spare on the 10. Just has to keep it on the lane.
That's good.
And he's got it. There's a spare.
First mark in the 5th string.
Yep.
Needs 5.
And that gives him 6 in the fill. So
That's a lead
20,
change.
that's 23, and that changes the lead. So at the moment, Kyle is ahead a little bit. And 4 horsemen, and he picks it up on the outside. So a 2nd mark. So 33 and a ball after 3. He's definitely putting the pressure on Brendan now. Brendan has to have a good 2nd half. Ouch. That's 3 in the fill, 4 horsemen and a triangle. One of those strange leaves we get in Candlepin sometimes. And he picks up 2. Right now he's at 36 after 3 to Brendan's 27. And again, we come into this string with Brendan with a 4-pin lead. So right now, Kyle has a 5-pin lead.
Big pins, though.
And those are big pins, you're right. So after 4, Kyle is ahead 9 in the string, so 44 to 35, and 5 in a match. And off on the 3-pin. Tough spare. You got to be on the right-hand side of the 1-pin or the head pin, or cut the ball over like that.
Side.
The left side works too. Yeah.
It's like playing.
So he sits on a mark, 54 and a ball after 5, and Brendan needs to mark now. So at the moment, not counting the fill, Kyle has a 9-pin lead in the string and a 5-pin lead in the match.
Plus a ball.
Right, plus a ball. So Brendan definitely wants to mark here. Nice first ball, gets the 4 horsemen left. Good. Oh, too full on the head pin. So when you're in this position, you just pin as well as you can and look for that couple of marks you need. And he gets a 9 box for 54 after 6. Full on the head pin. Isn't a 2 and 2, and that wood does not look very friendly. Can go for the wood and hope for some wall action, or go for the 2 on the side and hope to kick the pin over. He's going for the wood, and he gets the wall action. It goes over, and not enough energy to take out the 2 pins. That was a beautifully done shot. And for the 10, and he gets a 9. So after 7, Brendan is at 63. He really needs to mark in at least 2 of these boxes. And on the 2-pin, takes out 4, he's left with 6. And this is very similar to the shot that we saw Kyle make. And right through the hole. Right through the bunny hole. So now he just wants to pin as much as he can get on this one. And he gets the 10. So
Huge pins there.
I'm sure he would have liked that to have been the second ball rather than the third, but it takes 10 anyhow.
Brendan's at 73 through 8.
Yep, 73 through 8 for Brendan. 2 big boxes. And an 8 drop. Very frustrating split. That's the 6-7 split. The wood is interesting on this one. The wood might help.
I think he's season too. He's going up to the.
Yeah.
He's hit the head pin 3 times in this game. All 3 for splits.
Yeah, that happens a lot. And he found the hole. It didn't look like it was wide enough for the ball, but he found the hole. So now he wants a 10. And it didn't go, so he gets a 9. So 82 after 9. Must mark in this box.
Kyle's on 54 in a ball.
Yep. Okay, 6 drop just off to the right on the 3 pin. Got to make the spare. He's going great bid on it, and the 10 pin doesn't go. Beautifully shot. And he leaves the 10 pin up, so he takes a 9. And 91. Get a little score fixing. And Kyle needs to reset, so Brendan's finishes with a 91, a 527 total for 5 strings. Kyle has 476 in a ball. Yep, please. Drop 7. 457. No wood. That puts him at 493 through 5. So he needs 33 pins to tie. Or no, 34 pins to tie, I'm sorry. 35 to win. And he picks up a 9 box. We're at 71 through 6. 70 through 6. Can't do my arithmetic right now. That's what I get for trying to jump ahead of the scoreboard. Takes a re-rack. Right now he needs 26 pins and 4 boxes. And puts it in the pocket again, gets the, what I'd like to call the castle leave on the right side. So 5, 6, 10. Wood is there. We'll see. And he went for the left-hand wood and put that one wood in the back and left the pins. So takes an 8. It looked like it'd be a 9, but it's an 8. 78 through 7. And right now he needs 18 pins and 3 boxes to take the match. Off on the 3 pin. Get a 6 pin leave. 1, 2, 5, 9. Very makeable. And he leaves the 2 pin. A little full on the head pin. Very close. And finishes with a 9 on this, so he's at 87 after 8. And he needs 8 pins to tie, 9 pins to win. Takes 3 to the right. Hit the 6 pin. When I'm having a bad day bowling, that becomes my head pin, so I'm pretty used to seeing this sleeve. Hits the 2, misses the mark. Takes is 9, so Kyle has now officially won the match. 528 to 527 with 1 box to go. And 4 horsemen right, 3 left standing. The head pin came out. And misses to the left. And last ball of the match. And he leaves with a 7 box. So Kyle finishes with a 103. A total of 535. To Brendan O'Dowd's 527. So 8 pins over 5 strings. And Kyle moves on to the next round. It was a great match. Good job for the bowlers. You guys made it very interesting for everybody, and we'll see Kyle in the next round, and we'll be seeing Brendan over the summer and then next season. So thanks for joining us. Congratulations to Kyle, and thank you everybody for listening in on this match.